writer whose works include, and make some noise if I mention something you like, The New Adventures of Old Christine, Snowpiercer, 1 Hour Photo, We Were Soldiers, The West Wing, Florida Man, What Lies Beneath, Choke. Okay, we're going to talk about that a little bit. And since 2008, he's been an integral part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Agent Phil Coulson. Please welcome Clark Gregg!
Hi. If anyone thinks a hot dog is a sandwich, I'm going to need you to leave right now.
We got that out of the way. Very good. Good, sir. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I am well. So, is this your first time in Raleigh? You been here before?
I have been here before because I went to Chapel Hill High School. I don't know if there's still like Sanderson or Broughton or Ravenscroft people here who might want to fight me still. Yeah, so I spent some time in what we used to call the Triangle area. Do we still call it that? Do they still have hush puppies around here? Silly. Yeah, so
I softballed that for you.
This is home. This is home.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
have a lot of homes. This is home.
Oh, very nice.
But it's a great pleasure to be back here, and thank you so much for coming out. It's really a thrill for me.
Pleasure as always. Well, whenever I have a solo guest, real quick, I just always like to hear the origin story. So what drew you to wanting to get into performing?
There was a lot of other jobs that I found out I could not do. I had left North Carolina to go play soccer at a little school in Ohio, and I was told to leave there at a time when I actually also really wanted to go to New York, because there was a lot of cool bands. I liked seeing like the B-52s. This was a long time ago. A lot of like punk bands and stuff, and I wanted to go there and see all that. And then I starved in New York for about a year, and one of my friends from the little school in Ohio said, you know, you could get off the streets by auditioning. She knew I had done a play there. By auditioning, you could maybe get into NYU, and then you would have a place to live. So I did that, and I ended up with a great bunch of people and starting out that way.
Very nice. It's been a heck of a ride since then, I'd say.
Thank you.
Again, you got a tremendous body of work. I'd love to talk about some of the things. No, hey.
That felt inappropriate, but I'm going to roll with this.
Welcome to GalaxyCon. One of the things that you're in that I really enjoy, We Were Soldiers. I love that film so very much because it works as a historical piece, it works as a cautionary tale about war, but it actually is almost an adventure-like quality to it too. It kind of hits all those weird sort of little marks, and that was one of the really good. What was that experience like for you?
It was based on a wonderful book, We Were Soldiers Once and Young, really incredible book written by General Hal Moore, who was part of that battle, the first air cavalry battle. And I think a very crucial battle within that war, because like so many wars, because I studied them a little bit, the technology changes, and it changes completely what everyone's doing. So they were trying to go in and fight en masse against the North Vietnamese forces for the first time with air cavalry, which was, I'm going to really go down a rabbit hole here. So that was the big battle, and after that, the opposing force to us at that time decided, no, this has to be a guerrilla war. And it was an incredible cast with Mel Gibson and Barry Pepper and Kerry Russell and John Hamm, young John Hamm, this new guy, John Hamm. And we went to Atlanta, and we were in a form of boot camp and ranger school that was really not the tough version, but tough enough for me. And we had a blast, and really worked our butt off making that. So I'm glad you liked it.
No, absolutely. Also do. Again, you've done work in front and behind. Particularly, I enjoy Choke.
Thank you. Thanks to you and you.
Yeah, I know.
The rest of you don't see it. It's perverted. Yes, Choke. I had written a movie. When I first moved to LA in the late 90s, I had done a lot of work as a theater actor, but they did not know from me or want to know from me in LA, and so I started writing because I don't like to sit still, and I got hired to write this movie that became this ghost movie, What Lies Beneath. It was a thrilling adventure. Thank you.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it's kind of good. And at that time, they brought me this book called Choke about a. I'm not going to tell you what it's about. But if you saw Fight Club, it's by the same author who wrote Fight Club, and it's a satire about a sex-addicted colonial theme park worker. And I thought it was brilliant. So they asked me to write it, and I said I'll write it if I can direct it. And it took me probably 3 or 4 years to adapt it and get the money, and then we made it. In New Jersey in a sweltering hot summer like this one, with Sam Rockwell and Angelica Houston and this wonderful Scottish actress, Kelly MacDonald, and it was really an amazing experience.
I think it's people need to see it. That's why I always say it. That's what's one of those films. That's one of my loner films, which is like I don't watch. That's one of them.
Thank you.
No, I very much do. And we should go ahead and talk about the big one. How did Agent Coulson come about for you?
In my neighborhood in Santa Monica, where I was living at that point, there was a guy, Jon Favreau, who had made a couple of indie films, and at that point, yes, Swingers, he was involved in, and I had read that he was going to make Iron Man, which was one of my favorite comics, and I read the cast coming together with Robert Downey, who was no longer in trouble, but it turns out it was not easy for him to get Marvel to agree. It was the beginning of Marvel Cinematic Universe, really. And Gwyneth and Jeff Bridges, this amazing cast, and I thought, God, I can't wait to see that. That's the right Tony Stark. And then I got this call saying, you know what, there's a tiny part, it's this guy, his name is just Agent. And I was like, look, God, how am I gonna say no to this? This is one of my favorite comics, but I'd also been in a couple of movies where I had small parts, and then my friends went to see them, and they were like, I didn't see you. And I said, that's because they cut me and kept all the movie stars, and I thought if there's a movie here where I'm going to get cut out, it's the guy named Agent. Luckily, I did not listen to myself. And I did it, and I got there, and they kind of out of I think it was the first scene was me approaching Tony Stark, Agent Coulson approaching Stark at the opera and saying this strategic homeland, and they said, this time go in and say you're from the Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division. And I was like, okay, you want me to memorize that right now? But I managed to, and I said, as a comic book person, I have to ask, because that seems to spell out, your shield. And I was like, I still thought, that's cool. I had my 2 scenes, and I'll get to be the first person who said shield. And but then, I don't know, there was something just about the snarky guy pretending to be a bureaucrat actually is in possession of great secrets that was kind of working. And so they were like, hey, listen, we're putting some more scenes in, and actually there's some cool stuff for you in Iron Man 2. And I was like, okay, I like where this is going. And we were doing this scene where he has a prototype of Cap's shield, and he doesn't even know it. And he's using it to do stuff, and they say, okay, this take, go. There was some improv in those days. This take, go in, tell him you gotta go. You gotta go. I'm like, I gotta go, I don't wanna go, I'm really having fun. And they were like, no, tell him you gotta go to New Mexico. I was like, okay. And I did a couple of takes, and then I was like, hey, I'm not deep method, but what's in New Mexico? Where am I going? And I said, oh, did nobody tell you this? You find Thor's hammer. And I was like, am I a Make-A-Wish kid? I mean, I'm a little old for it, but it feels like this is the only plausible explanation for what's going on here. And next thing I know, I was up. Stan Lee, oh my God, his pickup truck was trying to pull the thing out. Nobody could. And I got to say, I found it. So for a kid who'd been quite nerdy in Chapel Hill, at the Varsity Theater in Chapel Hill, staying 3 times in a row to watch the first Star Wars movie. The Carolina Theater to watch the first Superman. I heard they made a new one. which I'm glad to see. And it just became this kind of series of incredible, like, okay, now this is definitely Make-A-Wish. Like at Comic-Con, they brought me for Thor, and this guy comes up, and I was like, this is Joss Whedon. And he comes over, he's like, looking for me, and he said, can I introduce you as part of the cast of the Avengers? And I was like, that's okay with me.
Wait, that's how you found out?
Yeah.
When they pulled you on the stage?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't even know that point?
No.
Oh my God.
They don't tell anything. They don't tell you anything. And then I had this call from...
But you weren't under a multi-picture contract. I did read that.
I mean, they gave you a multi-picture contract
But that's almost
to
forever.
tie you up if you were doing the catering. They locked everybody down. Probably a month or two later, I got this call from Kevin Feige, the genius behind all that. He said, so listen, you know, Joss wasn't kidding. You have a really good part in the Avengers. And I was like, that's really? That's so cool. And he said, yeah, what happens to you is what brings the Avengers together. And I was like, bro. But then I got the script and I was just like, wow. I'd rather, if it's this or bring the Hulk smoothies for 9 more movies, I'll take this. And not that the Hulk has a smoothie problem that you know about. I shouldn't have said that, it's a secret shit. It was, you know, it was incredible. And then it got to the day in New Mexico where I was getting stabbed a lot by a certain Asgardian son of... And I was very sad because the people, there just was something amazing about being part of that team. We were in New Mexico filming that movie, and it was, you know, people would come in, they'd be doing this part and this part, but rarely was the whole squad around. And there was a moment when the whole squad was around and there was this group text. And I got one from Chris Evans that just said, assemble. We're going out tonight, baby. But on the day when I was kind of sad and covered with unfortunate blood, this young executive at Marvel at the time, Jeremy Latchman, goes, I'm allowed to show you this. This might make your day a little easier. And he had an iPad, and on the iPad was the spectacular, very early previs animation of Hulk grabbing Loki and going like this. I was like, thank you, Jeremy, I feel better.
And when did you get a blip on the radar saying, oh, by the way, the story's not done for you?
Well, I was really quite dead. Quite dead. It was very clear. I was like, even when they were shooting that day, I was like, do you want to get one where it kind of grazes me a little? And they're like, no. I was like, the one with a little less blood. You might realize I'm the glue. No. Even the glue has to die at some point. And then I was probably a year later, I was trying to direct a tiny independent film, and I was back to my normal life. And I got this call from Jeff Loeb, who was running this new Marvel television thing where they were going to start to make Daredevil and stuff on Netflix, but they were making this one ABC show. And they said, with Joss, they said, we think you may not be so dead. And the reason they did that, the reason I love to come to events like this is because they had these photos and tweets of people all over the globe in Africa, carved on a hill, Coulson lives. And I mean, to have fans who kind of, I felt like they got what I liked. Joss got it too, you know, that I had these cards, my cap cards. He was like, he got this guy's one of us. And that the fans got that, and that they needed someone within that world who didn't have superpowers, you know, other than their belief in the cause. And so to have that come about as a result of that, to work for Marvel, who has always, I mean, you know, Comic-Con's really changed because Marvel started bringing early footage of these things to San Diego. And their relationship with the fans was a really thrilling thing to be part of. And so all of a sudden I was playing a guy who had thought he had a near miss, but had actually died, had been brought back through fiendish alien methods. If you haven't seen the show, check it out. And he's now running a team of kind of hand-picked, misfit, very young agents, even though he's kind of beat up and tired and traumatized. And suddenly I realized, well, here's this aging, beat-up, traumatized actor with a team of young actors, and spectacular, not quite as old, I mean, not quite as young, but still very young Ming-Na Wen. And they were living a very parallel experience making this show, which we got to make for 7 seasons, and just had an actual family. We really had a blast with it.
It was a wonderful ride for us as well. And before I go out there and take their questions, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for your talents and your professionalism and the performances, your work done in front and behind the camera. You've got a great body of work. And it's just been an absolute delight. And understand too, we're not just here for Agent Coulson. We're here for you. We really love your career and looking forward to your next project.
Thanks so much. He's nice.
Grab some of these. And our first one. Hey. Oh, this one. Hi, what's your name?
Brian.
What you got, Brian?
Hey, thank you. Welcome home.
Thank you.
Welcome back home. And I guess it's a question. It's one question, but it involves two people. One of my favorite actors, Samuel Jackson. How was it like working with him? And first of all, Mr. B. Stanley. How was it like working with him? And
who was the second one? I didn't.
Samuel Jackson.
Oh, Samuel Jackson. Okay, so
yeah, and I was saying rest in peace, Stanley.
Oh yeah,
But also, I don't know if you got a chance to work with him, but did Chadwick Boseman, what did his legacy mean to you?
Thanks, those are
Or what
super
did he
good
mean to
questions, thank you. So I'll go with Sam first. I had directed Sam in a play in LA years earlier while he was making this little movie in the daytime called Pulp Fiction. And I loved him, and he was tough. He was tough, but we played golf together, and he's just one of my favorite, really funny people. And so I was thrilled when I got to show back up, and we had a little bit of history. And honestly, I think he's one of our greatest actors. You know, I think what he does, nobody else can do. I think there's a lot of ways, it's similar to Chris Evans in a way. There's a lot of ways where those guys really dedicated to doing good could come off as less complex, less dark, less edgy. And I think what Sam has brought to that role over its many iterations, people will appreciate more and more as time goes by. I will tell the story on him, which is we were doing a car chase scene, and I was like, hey, they were like, hey, do you want to come back? You don't look that much older. I mean, we thought you looked worse, but you know, we think you're okay. Could you want to play a younger you in Captain Marvel? And I was like, yeah. They're like, there's going to be a lot of CGI. I was like, no, I know. And I'd be in the makeup chair, and so the way they do that is they put dots on your face. So I had black dots and Sam had white ones. Because later they were going to de-age us, and he looked amazing. And but we were doing this car chase scene, and at a certain point, he calls me, and I answer, but I'm sitting right next to him. Sorry if you haven't seen Captain Marvel, but I mean, it's been a couple years. And because I'm a Skrull, and so all of a sudden we're fighting to the death in the front of the car, and Sam accidentally pops me so hard that I almost go out. And he turned so sweet. I know, he's like, Clarky. I was so incredibly worried that he hurt me, and I was like, oh, look who's a softie underneath all that. He will deny that story for the rest of his life. I was so moved. I loved Black Panther. My brother and I, Black Panther and Luke Cage were two of our favorite comics. And I didn't get to work with him. I went to a Stan Lee Walk on the Hollywood thing, and I got to meet him and fanboy, and he was just, couldn't have been cooler. I think that premiere, the way, what Ryan Coogler did, I mean, Sinners is the best movie of the year if you haven't seen it. I think what they brought really is the heart of what's great about the Marvel Universe, and I was really glad I got to meet him and tell him how great I thought he was, and I'm really sorry we lost him. I think we lost something great.
Great question to start us off with. Thank you. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my we all know that Coulson and his fanboy cards are kind of the reason the Avengers came together. So what would be your, or maybe Coulson's reaction to how far the Marvel Universe has come, and like all the new Cap and Thunderbolts and new Avengers and Doomsday and all that? What would your reaction be, and what would you think Coulson's reaction would be?
I mean, my reaction is I loved watching it from the Evolve at the beginning, because I mean, I was lucky enough to be in Iron Man and watch what Robert and everybody was doing in the cool suit. And I went to very early screenings and watched that come together. I went, oh wow, this is amazing. This is the tone I wanted. It's funny and then it's terrifying. And I thought, and they were like, you're gonna find the hammer, etc. And I was like, oh, okay, you're gonna try to do this with the God guy with the long hair and he swings his hammer to fly? That's not gonna be so easy. And they pulled it off. And to watch them do something very unusual, which was every movie is a chapter of a bigger book. So I view the movies, some people have been critical of some of the recent ones. I think of them as chapters and different books within this kind of giant thing. And I've loved the fact that they could have Ragnarok in the same world as all this, which I think is so funny and great. And the Guardian stuff. I love what they're doing, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Great question. And great cosplay too, by the way. Thank you.
Very good.
Hi, what's your name?
My name's Gavin. First, I want to say thank you and the rest of the SHIELD crew for getting my fiance and I through COVID. But she is demanding to know, what is Davis's story?
Davis T. Davis? What about him?
A story that he's, everyone's been talking about.
About Davis T. Davis? So Davis T. Davis was a kind of secondary character or pilot who's there in the last season, right?
I believe so.
The last two. Okay, so he's a dear friend of ours, Max, wonderful actor. He also was great in Ted Lasso last season, I think, and the last season. And I think they wanted to have him come in and just be a pilot in 1 or 2 episodes and then disappear, but we loved him so much that every time we could, we'd slip in improvs about Davis and what's he up to now, and this woman who just broke up with him. And we just tried to cobble a character there together and make him part of the team because we loved him so much.
Cool. One for you and one for your fiance. There you go. Thank you. You're welcome. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm V. Thank you for coming. I was wondering, what was your favorite stunt that you got to do in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
My favorite stunt. Boy, we did a lot of stunts. Boy, we all got hurt so much. Chloe cracked her arm, Ming tore an ACL, everybody was hurt. Because we were so competitive about, did you see Ming's fight? Shit. I get very jealous when somebody did a great fight. I think my favorite stunt was, they said to Ming and I, okay, this episode, you guys are gonna ballroom dance. And I was like, no problem. My wife at the time was on Dancing with the Stars. I must be good at that. Boy, was I not good at that. So, I mean, we were trying to shoot this whole thing. We were on a ship in San Diego, and I'd be on the deck in between trying to learn the dance. But just the fact that we managed to pull off that dance together was maybe my favorite one. The rest are a whole blur of ouch.
Good one. Thanks for it. Hey, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Pablo. Me and my fiance are huge fans. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I got her for her birthday.
Thank you so much. Did you
And-
watch during COVID?
We did, and it took me a while because I was like, it's not canon, it can't be that good. But
Dude, it's canon! I'm just kidding. Listen,
Thank you.
Pablo,
Next question. Hi, what's your name? All right. Step a little further. Get on the X here, so we look at the camera and know it's you. All right.
There are those who think that. They're all dead now, but go ahead.
All right. Continue.
Well, I was wrong, it's fantastic.
No, I'm just
and my question is, as someone who's worked in movies and television, especially as the same character, people always talk about movies are so much bigger projects. What are like the big differences, pros, cons, and which one's your preference?
It's a great question. It was certainly what was tricky for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. coming out of the gate. People were waiting for Tony Stark to fly in, this giant cinematic thing, and it's just different. It's on, even though these days TVs are a bit bigger, it's just different. You're shooting one of those hours in 9 days, and each of those movies is 5 months. So it's just impossible to do the same thing. That said, we got really good at adding some pretty incredible effects and combat and stuff. and creatures in a very quick time frame. And frankly, one of the things we did for ourselves for fun, because the first episode of every season tended to be big, is that we would rent a movie theater right by the studio in Los Angeles, and we would watch. We would watch the first episode on a movie screen and go, oh, I wish people could see it like this. It kind of holds up that way. Mostly it's the pace, and perhaps the money. It's a little less money on TV. Thanks.
Okay, one for you, one for your fiance. There you go. Enjoy. Hey, what's your name?
My name is Reverend Waters, and
Cool name, people.
And personally, I would like to thank you for being here and welcome home.
Thank you.
My question is, who is your favorite actors to work with, whether it's from Avengers or any Marvel project you've been a part of?
Did you say actress?
Actress or actor?
Yeah.
Actress or actress. Who's your favorite to work with?
Human. We're not gender
Yes.
specific. Okay. That's really good. You trying to get me killed, man?
How about this? What's some of your favorites? Or, you know, you don't have to pick one, just pick a couple.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the first person I really dealt with in the Marvel universe, if that's what we're talking about, was Robert. Is that character? I believe that Agent Coulson was born. Really came to life because of who he is as an actor and how much he's down to let's riff. You know what I mean? There was great dialogue there, and he was there to kind of like find out what more was there. And our riffing together, I think, is where Coulson came out of. So that's my deep favorite. Every time I got a scene with Scarlett, because I think Scarlett quietly is the other big heart of the Marvel Universe. I think she's unbelievably brilliant in what she does. And also everybody else just as much. Thanks.
Fair. Great one. Thank you. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Lars. This is one that maybe not everyone here has seen. I really enjoyed your scenes in the show within a show in Murderbot. I was just wondering, given the weird setup for that, what was the direction like, since it's a show within a show with no further context?
That's a really good question. So Murderbot's a new show on Apple TV Plus, Apple Plus, that some friends of mine, the Whites brothers, made that with Alexander Skarsgård. It's actually really cool. I love it. And funny. It's a half-hour sci-fi thing, and it's about a guy who's a sentient android. And they generally, if they can get out of their controls, they kind of kill all the humans around him because they find them annoying. And this guy gets free of his governor module, but he thinks these humans are kind of harmless. What he really wants to do is watch his favorite space soap opera, like us, all the time. And his favorite space soap opera is called Sanctuary Moon. So they needed kind of a cheesy space show. Hello. And I got to be one of the captains of the Sanctuary Moon ship. And it's really fun. That was me and incredible cast. John Cho and Jack McBrayer and DeWanda Wise trying to figure out this over the top but very heavy stakes show within a show in a couple of days. And it's pretty wacky. We had a blast. Who are you cosplaying as?
I am Mark S. from Sevens.
Nice. Okay, good. Yes, thanks.
All right. Great question. Thank you. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Ashley. Thank you so much for being here. I studied writing in college, and I discovered acting because of that. And so you are obviously gifted in acting and writing and directing as well. So I wanted to know how, when you approach a script as an actor versus as a writer and director, what are different shifts that you have in your mind when you are doing that, when you're coming at different scripts and projects?
Damn, woman. I didn't know we were going to go to the AP level class here. I should probably have thought about that. I love great writing. I studied with a playwright, David Mamet, in college at NYU.
A playwright.
A playwright. But I mean, and Joss, and all the, I've been lucky to work with Aaron Sorkin. I've worked with a couple of times. So just some brilliant writers. I think they really feed each other. I mean, in a way, you're there to take that scene as if you wrote it, as if it's coming, as if it's happening for the first time as an actor, and find out what all is there, what's really happening, and fill it. And you're very much designing what needs to be filled as a writer, but I think because I work as an actor, I know what I would want to say, I know the scenes that I would want to act, and the subtext that makes them fly, and I think it works both ways. They really feed each other for me. It's a great question.
Thank you.
To go home and
Great
think
look
about
at
a
your
better
career.
answer.
Look forward to it. Great cosplay. I love this movie. Love those characters. Good job with that. What's your name?
Sammy. I was gonna ask if your character could meet today's like Loki. Do you think he would forgive him for killing you?
Is this a serious question? No, it's a really good question. I mean, this was hard for me because I love Tom Hiddleston.
I think we all do.
And I just as much as I hate Loki. But I mean, I watched Loki in what's it called? The Bureau, the agency, the TVA, yeah. Poor guy. I was like, I almost feel bad for him. Nah. I would have some empathy for him. And I would try to find a multiverse where I could do it better. Thank you.
Great question. Thank you. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
Let me just say it's such a great honor to see you in person.
Thank you, Ryan.
And my question is, after the final season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., have you ever wondered what the life's been like for the other characters after the events of Avengers Endgame?
Snapping?
Yeah.
We wrestled a lot that last season or two about
Yeah.
that. Did we have a snap here? Were we allowed to? We don't know. The two worlds were going separately. I think I love those people so much. We went through so much. Chloe and Elizabeth and Ian and Henry and all of them and Ming so much that I miss them. They're family to me. I still talk to them quite a bit. We still get together whenever I can. And I do wonder how that I love that they wrote that where they had this time to, it's very much like what our lives are like as actors. It's really hard to have been 7 years every day in each other's lives, and now we're spread out all over the place. And there's a form of goodbye, that time is over. That's what they wrote into the show, which I thought was really beautiful. So I do think about that a lot, and I come up with a lot of different crazy theories. It's a great question, thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Go. Hello, what's your name?
I'm Robert. So, weird question. If you could be one hero from either the Marvel or DC universe, who would it be?
He's also trying to get me killed. This could possibly be a cop-out? I don't think it is. I don't think I could have scored better. For me, Coulson. I mean, if I could have been that rock guy that Taika played in Ragnarok, but I wouldn't have nailed the New Zealand accent like me. Ian's really good with that accent. So I'm going to go with Phil. Thank you.
There you go. Thank you. Hello, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Hope, and my question is, what's the best piece of acting advice you've ever received?
Ooh, gosh, you guys are really next level. Acting advice. It's hard because whenever someone gives you acting advice, you're kind of like, shut up. Let's see you do it. But that's not really productive. You have to really take it in. Well, one of my favorites was from Ken Branagh, the brilliant Shakespearean actor-director who did Thor. He would let me kind of riff a little and improv a little after we got the stuff as written. And I would do I thought, kind of funny stuff about who this guy was who showed up, this blonde Norse god. I had a lot of jokes about who I thought he was. And I was like, is this okay? Can I do it? He's like, darling, they never cut funny. So if you can be funny, that always helps. I'll go back to David Mamet, who said, be the kind of actor you'd like to work with. And I found that a compass point incredible because that gets me present, that gets me kind of improvisatory in the way that I said that Robert is, and it lets you show up in a way that kind of creates a sense of play. That's what I would want, so that's been most helpful.
Great question. Thank you very much. Hey, what's your name?
Isaac. Working on a show like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. gets me with a cast for that long. And you were working with a lot of like up and coming actors. So like, what was it like watching Chloe and Ian and Elizabeth grow from kind of obscurity almost to where they are now? Because they're doing a lot of really great projects.
It's a great, it's funny you say that. I remember, and they were funny. There's an episode close to the end of season 1 when they have found me kidnapped by Raina, the brilliant Ruth Nega, and they saved me. She saved me when I was being tortured, and all of a sudden we're back on the ship, and my team without me has pulled off something incredible and been really brilliant as actors doing so. And I just kind of stood there, and there was really no acting to do. I felt the same feelings we all were feeling there of, look at you guys. I'm very, very proud to be working with you.
Good one, thank you. Unfortunately, we're just about out of time, so let's have your
Speed
last
round.
question.
Should we do a speed round?
We got it all the way going back.
Listen, don't underestimate me.
All right. No, I'll do it if you want to do it. Okay. All right. So here's
the one rule of speed round. How long do we have?
Theoretically, we have 5 minutes. Or we got a few little. We got some leeway. We have some
6
leeway.
to 7 minutes.
Will
you guys mind if I answer kind of quickly and we ask the questions really quickly? I like to try to get to everybody, but I have to stand up and stretch. Okay, let's go.
Now, here's what I do. I go down the line. So here's what we're gonna do. Okay, hey, what's your question?
Shane Gilroy wanted to say that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. meant that finding friends and family is more than just blood. It taught me that sorry.
It's good.
We threw you a curve, man.
Take a breath.
I get the message you're saying.
You guys inspired me to go back to school, get my diagnosis for autism and ADD.
My man.
Family can be more than just blood. It's friends you found.
The family you find. Dead right. Thank you.
Sorry.
No, that's valuable. Thank you for taking your time.
Lily is going back to film school. What do you recommend to focus on? Directing, producing? I'm not that good at acting, obviously, but
this is not acting. You could be great at acting.
Behind the scenes of it. What do you like to do?
You have to listen to you. This is going to sound cheesy, and it's completely true. You're going to have to listen carefully to yourself because it's going to tell you. It's a beautiful question. Thank you. Next, let's move fast. Speed run.
Okay, no names, just straight to the question. Go.
I loved Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I kind of hate that it was decanonized for a bit, so I'm just wondering if they're going to loop any of that back in for Secret Wars, if you have any word on that.
I feel like there's a little bit of they're kind of going back to the roots again, and I feel like everything's possible. I'm hoping, yes, I'm hoping we see some more Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Great question, thank you.
What's next?
So, the beginning of S.H.I.E.L.D. was really grounded, the end was like aliens and time travel and stuff.
Yeah.
What did you enjoy more, the grounded stuff or like the more fantastical?
Both. Next. Cameron.
Hey, what's your name?
Cameron.
Hi, what do you got?
What is your favorite part of being Agent Coulson?
Getting to hang out with my boy Cameron 3 times today.
What you got?
Okay, Phil Coulson was protagonist for the first 5 seasons. He turned antagonist for the 6th season. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. What was that like? How was that?
So fun. It was kind of fun to be a little bit of a bad boy there as Sarge. I really dug it. Thank you.
Come on, look for us. Get the camera. What you got?
Say your question, then go.
No problem. If you could be an Avenger, who would you be?
Phil Coulson, baby. Or Black Widow. Let me be honest. Okay.
I just wanted to know, like, how did like being a consumer of entertainment, how has that shaped you as a creator?
That's actually a brilliant question. I know what I like to see. I know what I don't like to see. I like when the audience is being treated like they're really smart and they're not kind of condescending to me. So I try to make stuff that's like that, give them the benefit of being smart. Thank you. Next.
After your performance on Lip Sync Battle, have you ever thought about a career in burlesque?
In burlesque? That's all I think about, baby.
We have burlesque.
She's talking about me as Britney Spears doing Toxic. Wait, YouTube it, but it'll be burned into your brain and not in a good way.
We do burlesque here late at night, just saying. What's that?
Little twerk, you didn't think you were gonna get that for your money. Okay, go.
So, given your time in the MCU universe,
Yeah.
what is like your favorite?
Okay, the U stands for universe. I'm just kidding, I'm kidding. Big turn.
I'm just a girl, Your Honor.
Hey! I don't share that viewpoint, but okay. I have a daughter and she's way smarter than me. Okay, go.
Given your time in the MCU, what is your favorite Coulson moment?
My favorite Coulson moment? If you play around, or if you mess around or play any games, I will tase you and watch Super Nanny while you drill into the
Great roadhouse, by the way. Hey, what you got?
Hey, 10 seconds to tell me how your favorite teacher or author helped your writing.
Oh, my favorite teacher, Jesus. I read Ernest Hemingway in college, and I thought if I could ever just do anything that's that simple and true and beautiful in any art form, I would be thrilled. Next. We're gonna make it, we're gonna make it!
Hi, given the fact that Agent Coulson seems to have taken a step back from the MCU, if you could choose
No,
a
no,
way
girl,
for Coulson
no,
to come back
I'm
in,
gonna stop you.
What
They
would-
took a step back from me.
how would you choose for Agent Coulson to come back into the MCU officially? What would you choose?
Okay, this is what came to me as a special MCU form of ghost that gradually was materializing more and more based on how much people interacted with him, like a quantum Coulson ghost. I just wrote that. I own it. Don't try to write it. Go, next.
Hey, so, what are your thoughts on Tahiti, and how did the Tahiti bit come about?
That's purely something out of Joss's head, that they told him he'd been getting these wonderful massage treatments recovering in Tahiti, and he was really, undergoing this gruesome alien revival experience. What I'm really sad about, because I surf all the time now, is I haven't found a way to get Tahiti to bring me there, so I can say that I've actually been. Okay, we're down to 4, we can do this.
A lot of emotional moments in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Which one was the hardest to act emotionally?
I'm going to flip your question. The easiest one to act, in a way it was also very difficult, was there was a thing at the end of season 5 because we thought we were done. They only decide later, oh, you know what, we're going to do 2 more seasons for Netflix. I was saying goodbye to everyone before they dropped me off on the island because I was terminal. Hard to say. And I was saying goodbye to Chloe and to Henry and to everybody who I really loved. And we couldn't even rehearse the scene. We couldn't even block it because it was so much emotion, just saying goodbye to each other. So they literally just had to kind of you're going to stand roughly here and then we're going to shoot. And just for the first time, that's what you saw on the screen. Thank you.
Hey, what you got?
Yes, during your time on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Marvel got to introduce maybe a little bit of lesser known heroes or heroines. In your opinion, do you have any ideas of what you would want, maybe as a fellow actor or a person on a show, for a hero to be introduced? Would you want, say, a lesser known heroine, or if so, what would they be?
I love that. That's a great question. So, Big Marvel, we called them, they were using an amazing amount of stuff where they'd be like, nope, can't use that, can't use that. So they got to bring in all these other cool characters. They weren't doing anything with Ghost Rider, so we got the incredible Gabe Luna. I don't know if you've seen his other show. It's a little thing called Last of Us. I thought his Ghost Rider was incredible. And a lot of the other kind of secondary characters we got to play with, I thought were really cool, deep cuts from Marvel.
Definitely.
I love that, yeah.
Hi, what's your favorite movie?
Next question. No, I'm totally kidding. I just can never make up my mind. Very few things have rocked me like Blade Runner. Blade Runner just changed my whole world, the original Blade Runner.
Okay, bring us home.
Do you have any memorabilia from any of your projects? If so, what's your favorite one?
I'm not saying that you got together as a group and decided to try to get me in trouble.
I rephrase this question. Have you found yourself in possession of anything from any sets you've worked on?
Let's see. I might have a bloody suit. I might have some bloody cards. might have a really beautiful flying Corvette. They wouldn't give me that. Are you kidding? I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming out.
One final question. Do you want to take a picture of this wonderful audience?
Absolutely. Let's
All
do
right,
it.
everybody, we'll take our GalaxyCon stage selfie. Come on up to the stage, not on the stage, come up towards the stage, take a picture of our amazing guests. All of you.